So apparently I'm hearing that 1,000 single women showed up to a church singles event. And only like 20, 30 men showed up. See, I tried to let y'all slide on roasting y'all when I saw you bitches was going on that Pop the Balloon show. I tried to let you slide, but see this is when I got something to say. Bitch, y'all full of cap. Y'all full of shit. All the shit that y'all get on here talking is for the internet. It's not how you feel in real life. See, in real life, you bitches actually want a man. But you get on the internet and cap for one another because you don't want nobody to know that you want a man, because you don't want to be called a pick me. You don't want to be called male centered. You don't want to be called this. You don't want to be called that. And that's why you bitches lose. You fail every time you try to cap for the internet. See me, bitch? Oh, I want a man. Any bitch know me or tell you Nay has always wanted a man. Male centered bitch, you call me whatever you want to call me. Because one thing about my man, he paying all my motherfucking bills, baby. All of them. Not some, not a couple, all of them. So, bitch, you damn skippy, I'm male centered, and I'm gonna stay male centered. Because one thing about you, fishy, pussy smelling bitches, y'all ain't gonna fucking pay my bills. So, what the fuck I look like worried about what y'all think? Please. And if you get in my comments talking shit, I'm gonna block you with my male centered ass. You damn skippy.
Let's give this woman a round of applause, because in 2 minutes she said what we've been repeating on this channel from the very beginning. Women do want a man. They always have. Now look at the numbers. 1,000 women showed up to a dating event at a church. The men? Barely 50. When not even Christian men want to get married, things are going very, very badly for women. Thanks to feminism, there's now an epidemic of single women, like the ones who attended that dating event. If you like this content, help us reach 200,000 subscribers and share your opinion in the comments. And now, let's get started.
Just sitting here thinking about how I went to singles night at church and it was hundreds. I mean, at least 1,000. First, I thought it was 500, but the pastor said it was 1,000 singles in attendance. Like, are we all living the same life at this point? Because I've never been in a room with that many single people, or even thought that it was even, I thought I was like the only one left. I mean, beautiful women, all types, shapes, and sizes. Literally African-American women. Like, a room full of singles. And I'm like, this has to be an experiment. Like, this has to be like a simulation. Is that the word I want to use? I think so. Like, I'm confused and I'm like low-key, like nervous, like for us. We're shit for myself, fuck y'all. Because where are the men? Where are the men? Then again, don't know. Never mind. Don't. We know where they at. Bye.
Damn!
The worst deal modern women made was trading security for ideology. They gave up being treated like queens, genuine care, and the kind of man who got up every morning to work so his family wouldn't lack anything. And they traded it for the approval of other women online who sold them the idea that all of that was oppression. That love was exploitation. That the home was a prison. That the man who took care of them was actually enslaving them. And where are the men now? Exactly where you told them to go. Men got tired. Tired of bringing everything to the table and getting conditions, standards, and demands in return, just for the privilege of being with an average woman. The game stopped being worth it. You set the terms yourselves. I don't need men. I'd rather choose the bear. Leave us alone. Men don't bring anything to the table. Men listened, took notes, and acted accordingly. Now the room is full of single women asking where the men are. Well, they're out living their lives, and you're hitting the wall because the wall doesn't forgive.
I would say the number one issue you hear from females in the church right now is there's no good guys out there. And this is like church and at large, but especially in the church, and probably you guys just in what you do, probably know a few awesome single women that are like, I find so many pastors, so many leaders that are like, I know like 5 great 35 or 30 to 40-year-old single women that are single. Like, I just don't know why they're not married yet. It's just, we run into that over and over. And it's probably the biggest thing for women that is the issue or their complaint, I would say. For men, we see that probably the biggest issue for guys right now is they don't feel equipped and they kind of feel like they're not wanted. Okay. So we have a lot of women. I'm just going straight into it. Okay. And ladies, I do love you. Okay. But we have a lot of women complaining about how awful the guys are. And then we have guys overhearing that and being like, should I even try? Like, I don't even know what to do in this environment anymore. Ladies are raising their standards. There's a lot of stats behind that. And guys are saying, hey, I'm actually more open. But the women are like, no, you have to be in therapy for 10 years. No, like all of these criteria.
No debt, credit score here.
It's funny because it's true.
Today's woman does not want to build with you. She wants a man who is already built. Think about it logically. Your father has been working for 30 or 40 years, and he still did not give you a millionaire's lifestyle. So how can you demand from a 25-year-old man what not even your own family could give you in a lifetime? The standards these women demand are not high. They're unrealistic. The truly intelligent woman, the one the Bible describes as wise, understands that her power lies precisely in that early stage. She recognizes the man who has hunger, direction, and character, and she builds a life project with him. She helps elevate him. She stands by him as he moves to the next level. And in that process, both of them grow. That is not submission. That is intelligence. Women today want to meet the man at the finish line. And what ends up happening is that they stay single in church, over 30 years old. That man who has already made it, who has already built something, who already has options, is not going to choose them. He is going to choose the 23-year-old because he can. And meanwhile, they are still sitting on the same church pew, wondering where the good men are.
They want to put all the single women in single women camps together for marriage training. And there's one of two ways this is going to go. Either it's going to be brilliant. The first thing is, we're all going to find wives. Even people who never thought they wanted a wife, they're going to find wives too. There's going to be so many wives in one place, but the men aren't going to be a part of it. Or option two, we form a coven, and there are just covens of witches everywhere across the USA, to the point where like they probably have to bring back the Salem witch trials. But you cannot tell me that you think it's a good idea to put women who refuse to conform in a group together and think that we're not going to rise up together in some form of fashion, whether it's finding wives, whether it's starting a coven, or whether it's just forming a really sweet community where we teach each other new skills, new knowledge, and we, play games with each other and have drinks, and we have all of like the best girls' nights. Like, can't wait to meet all of our new best friends at Single Camp in America, USA 2026.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Thousands of dollars spent on camps, courses, and retreats for single women, when the solution is completely free, listening to what men want. But they won't do that, because doing so would mean admitting that the problem lies with them. The woman in the intro summed it up perfectly. She doesn't care if they call her a pick-me or male-centered, because while others criticize her from their loneliness, she's at home with her husband paying all her bills. The results speak for themselves. You can't be both the seller and the buyer at the same time. The seller isn't worth more than the buyer, because if the product doesn't sell, it stays in storage and goes bad. As women, you have to understand that your market is men. So listen to what men want, what they look for in a woman, what kind of woman they desire, and become that. You'll see how quickly you'll have a man in your life.
1,000 single women showed up to a church singles event, and only like 20, 30 men showed up.
At this point, I don't understand why anyone is still surprised over this. Between the drizzle movement and the bear versus the man argument, and the general huge amounts of men that have been speaking out about how marriage and relationships are just not worth it, and that dating is only ever worth it if you end up finding a unicorn where she's like putting in effort just like you are. With all of that very much known, it is no surprise that men are rather staying home, keeping their peace, chilling, working, or ignoring people.
Exactly. But it's not just that. Take a look at the following video, where this young man lays out several points on how the system has contributed to men saying no to marriage.
Women.
I'm never going to get married. I don't want to get married.
Why?
There's no benefit for the man. He only has everything to lose.
What?
A man can be completely faithful to his wife, provide, protect, take care of the kids, obviously when he's not working, whatever. And the wife can step out and cheat. And what's the results of that? Man has to pay alimony, has to pay child support, loses his house, loses the cars, loses everything. Why? What's the point? And then, it's a coin flip. Flip a coin if your marriage is going to work. Those are the odds. Those are the chances. If you want to get married, cool. Throw a wedding, put the rings on each other, say your vows, you're married. You don't have to submit nothing with the courts.
Yeah. Die alone?
The only reason why somebody is not okay being alone is because they're not okay with themselves.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I agree.
That's it. If you're not okay being alone, you have issues with yourself that you need to take care of.
I don't agree with the idea of staying alone for life. A life without risk isn't really living, and total isolation comes with its own costs. That said, what I do see clearly is that marriage as an institution in the West is not working for men. There are too many benefits tilted toward women. This will eventually lead to that state-backed contract being reformed, something China has already done to level the playing field. Take a look at their newer laws, which the West should study. First, they eliminated the automatic 50-50 split. Now, each spouse keeps what they can prove they acquired. Anything owned before the marriage remains untouched. Second, if one partner left their career to stay home, there is compensation, but it's time-limited, capped at 1 year, not lifelong support. Third, there is a mandatory 30-day cooling-off period before a divorce can be finalized. And fourth, shared custody is the default starting point, not the exception. Unlike in the West, the system is designed to preserve families, not make their breakdown easier. If this country doesn't adopt similar rules, we'll see more and more single women, and an ever-growing epidemic of loneliness affecting everyone. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. What does it tell you when a room has over 1,000 single women and barely 20 men? Is it a problem with them, the system, or both? Do you think marriage as an institution in the West still has a solution, or is it already too late? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means a lot to us and motivates us to keep creating more content. Stay tuned for the next video.